Merry Meet Witches is Graybeard Crowfather with another of the Intro to Wicca series, and tonight I'm going to be going over some of the items that you will want to collect and have on your altar or in your home over the years. So, sorry about the noise. That's the dog. She's old. She doesn't know what she's doing. So, let's jump right into it, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that you will want to get at some point in time is a broom or a besom. And the broom or the besom is sacred to both the goddess and the god. And they're good if you put a broom across your threshold. It's good against keeping hexes and curses out. And you can also use a broom in ritual or spell work to sweep the negative energy from your circle or area. Now I'm going to start grabbing some things. You'll see me ducking in and out a lot, and that's because I'm going to grab some items to show you. So, you can get a simple broom, kind of like this. You can find stuff like this anywhere, thrift shops, antique shops. You know, I think we paid $5 for that broom. So there's one example of the broom. The next one is you can get a more traditional looking broom. Something like that. This was made at a craft show that we went to one time and bought it there. I think this was $25, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's about what it cost. So brooms. The next item that you're going to want to get sometime down the road also is going to be a wand. Wands are sacred to the god, and any stick will do for you at any point in time. Even if it's like a wooden dowel, if you have to use it as a substitute for the time being. Some people are more comfortable with the wooden dowels. Some people find, sticks lying on the ground from trees blown down. Some people go out and actually purchase wands. This is our wand here. It's a carved piece of willow, and we did actually find this at a pagan pride festival one year, so we weren't really looking for a wand in particular, but as we passed by the table, this one kind of called out to us, so we bought it. So the wand, again, any stick will work out for you when you're beginning out. Just see how the wood feels, and you'll know. The next item is a censer or incense burner. If you don't or can't get a actual full-blown censer or incense burner, a bowl of salt or sand will do, and you can put the incense right in there. It'll help keep the altar area that you're using it in from getting burnt up by any ashes. So we just found a small little incense burner like this that we use for indoor rituals, and you just take the cap off, and then we just use the little cone incense for it. Works okay. Most of the time we are outside doing rituals, so whatever works for you. Okay. Next up, everybody loves these cauldrons. Now, cauldrons will sometimes be your pièce de résistance of your work area, altar, whatever it is you're going to be doing. They come in many different sizes. Cauldrons are sacred to the goddess, and they can be used for multiple things. Whether you're going to brew up a witchy potion in them, or just fill them with water and or flowers pertaining to your ritual, or you can fill them up with water and use them as scrying devices. Cauldrons are personal to each and everybody. We have, I gotta think about this for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 cauldrons altogether. Starting here, this is our smallest one that we use when we're in indoor rituals. And then sometimes we use this bad boy. A lot of times it's if we're indoors. Oh, also, this was found at an antique shop. $6, I believe. And yes, anytime we found something, whether it was at a store or a craft show or a pagan pride festival, we always brought it home and cleansed it. So the next size cauldron that we have is probably about 16 to 18 inches in diameter, and it's got a three-legged stand. That's out by our circle in our backyard. We have a huge rock circle with a stone altar, and that sits right by it. And then our last cauldron is probably about 2 3/4 feet, maybe 3 feet in diameter. I mean, it's a monster. That one takes like 2 people to lift it up. We don't really use that one because it is so huge and so heavy and so bulky and in the way. So we just use the smaller one that has the small 15 to 18 inch diameter on it. Next up is your athame or athame, or I've even heard it called atami. This is your black-handled knife. This is going to be used for directing power in your rituals, storing power. This knife never, ever cuts anything physical with it. If somebody is in your circle and needs to leave for some reason, whether it's a potty break or something like that, you would use your athame to cut a hole in the circle so that it doesn't interrupt it, so they can leave and come back, and when they come back you seal up the hole. I forgot where I got this. Next up is your bowline, and that is your white-handled knife. This tool is what you would use in your ritual or spell casting if you're going to actually do physical cutting, whether you're going to be cutting up herbs or scribing something on some clay. You want to use the bowline. Never use the athame. Always use the bowline for physical cutting and work. Okay. Sorry, left, right here. Next up is your chalice or your cup, sacred to the goddess. This can be sitting on your altar filled with the beverage of your choice, whether it's water, some kind of alcoholic beverage, or if at the time that you're using it, nothing. You look at that, it's got the triquetra on it, both sides. Again, we found this at a pagan store. Again, does not have to be something like this when you're starting out. Simple crystal glass goblet, coffee cup, whatever it is, whatever you got that will suit your needs, use it. If you are following the path long enough, all these years down these roads, you will acquire this stuff as you move along. Next up is going to be the pentacle. Now, the pentacle is a tool that can be used to invoke the goddess and the god. It can stay right on your altar. You can hang it. If you look over my shoulder, you'll see we have the triple goddess with the pentagram and the circle and the triple goddess and the goddess symbol in there. Mostly common, set on your altar. You can hang it on a door. You can do whatever you want. I basically just keep it on our altar for when we're doing rituals, inside and outside. Found this at a pagan store, and you can find these types of things online. I don't remember what this ran. Next item, bell. A bell is sacred to the goddess. You can use it to ring it to invoke power. You can use it to ring it to scare off, or cleanse the area of negative energies, or scare off any evil spirits that you may think are going to be around. Just a simple bell, nothing fancy about it. Again, this was at an antique store find, and I believe, I don't know, $2 or something like that. And then we come to some other objects that you will want to have on hand for your altar or your workings. Candles. I don't have any candles handy. I forgot to grab them, but any candles will do, even if they're birthday candles. They work fine. Typically, most people use candles that are about that tall. Different colors. They all represent different things. The gold and silver will represent the goddess and the god. Red and orange, depending on the time of the year. Like during Mabon, we use red and orange. Yule, we use green and silver. Samhain, we tend to use black more than anything. So, candles. The next items you could have that you will want to use is a bowl of salt and a bowl of salt and bowl of water on your altar. Those represent earth and water. They're not necessary, but a lot of people do tend to have them. The next item is we always keep a candle snuffer on our altar for both inside and outside rituals. I have seen many times that it is a affront to the goddess and the god if you blow the candles out. Some people believe that, some people don't. I tend to err on the side of caution, and we use a candle snuffer. The next item, some people like to have it, some people don't. I kind of think it's cool. Crystal sphere. You can use these for scrying purposes. If you do get a crystal sphere, just try to look into it to see whether it's actual crystal sphere itself or if it's just reconstituted glass. This is a reconstituted crystal sphere. Word of caution, if you keep a crystal sphere on your altar or on a shelf somewhere when you're not using it, cover it up. Why? Because on some sunny days, what is this just like? A magnifying glass. Sunlight will come through. You know, it can actually start a carpet or something on fire. Be careful with them. Then, lastly, now a lot of times people don't have the ability to get stuff like this, but again, it's not necessary. As I said before, it's just stuff that we've acquired over the years of practice. Statues of the goddess and god, which we put on our altar. So, statue of the goddess. I know some people on Reddit do have these same statues. And statue of the god. And then we have other takes on the goddess and god that we do use when we're outside and the weather is nice. We do bring out our special, there's our goddess, Diana. These were found in a pagan store. They were expensive. And lastly, the god. A lot of people consider this to be Kernanos or Hern the Hunter. Horn. To me, I just call him the Horned God. But yeah, a lot of people tend to call him Hern or Kernanos. And so, those are items that you will want to actually accumulate at some point in time in your life. Again, it is not necessary to go out and buy all this stuff. You don't need to. I'm just giving you an idea of what you'll come across after years of practice. If all you have is the basics, candle, small incense, maybe make your own athame out of a butter knife and out of a bowling, a wand, just make it out of a stick, whatever the case may be. All right, so hopefully you'll take the time and start putting some of your tools together and be able to use them in some of the rituals like I've described in these past videos. That's going to be your homework for tonight. Start putting together your altar/ritual items. This is Graybeard Crowfather signing off for the evening. Blessed be.